So I'm going to be continuing chapter 5. I ended off with addition and subtraction of decimals, and so now I'm going to move on to multiplication of decimals. To multiply a decimal by a whole number less than 10, you should set out your working. To multiply a decimal by a whole number less than 10, you should set out your working so that the decimal point in the answer is directly below the decimal point in the question. Then you can do the multiplication as if you were multiplying two whole numbers together. For example, the working for 3.6 times 4 is shown on the right. To multiply decimals by 10 or more, 10 or 100 or 1,000, there are some simple rules which you will remember more easily if you see how they are obtained. The diagram illustrates 32.69 times 10. So hundreds, tens, units, tenths, and hundredths. The digits have moved one place to the left, as their place values are 10 times bigger, but when the result is written down without the column heading, as 32.6 times 10 equals 326.9, it looks as if the decimal point has moved one place to the right. Using one of these rules, you can write down the result of multiplying a number by 10 without working. For example, 5.732 times 10 equals 57.3. Your answer may be a whole number. For example, 38.7 times 10 is 387. Multiplication of a decimal by 100 may be approached in a similar way. For example, 4.173 times 100 is 417.3. You may have learnt the rule to multiply by 10 at 0, but this rule works with whole numbers and not with decimals. For example, 0.5 times 10 equals 5, not 0.50. Moving the digits one place to the left works for both whole numbers and decimals. The multiplication of two decimal numbers may be introduced by converting them both to fractions. For example, to work out 0.03 times 0.07, write it out as 3 over 10 times 7 over 10. Using the method you met in section 3.7, the result is 21 over 100, which as a decimal is 0.21, that is 0.3 times 0.7 equals 0.21. Notice that 3 times 7 is 21. Notice also that 0.03 and 0.07 each have one decimal place, and that 0.21 has two decimal places. That is, the number of decimal places in the answer is the same as the total number of decimal places in the question. This approach enables you to write down the answer to similar products, such as 0.6 times 0.5 equals 0.30, which may also be written as 0.3, and 0.3 times 0.2 is 0.06, not 0.6. Example 5.6.1. Write down the answer to 0.6 times 0.9. So 0.6 times 0.9 equals 0.54. 0.5 times 0.8 is 0.5 times 0.8 equals 0.40 or 0.04. 0.3 times 0.3 is 3. 0.3 times 0.3 is 0.09. To work out a more difficult product, such as 0.04 times 0.27, you could convert each decimal to a fraction and multiply them. So 4 over 10 times 27 over 100 equals 108 over 1,000, which is 0.108 as a decimal. So 0.4 times 0.27 equals 0.108. There's a better method. 4.27 times 20. There's a better method. 4 times 27 is 108. Also, 0.04 has one decimal place. 0.27 has two decimal places, and 0.0108 has three decimal places. So again, the number of decimal places in the answer is the same as the total number of decimal places in the question. This suggests a general method for multiplication involving decimals. Step 1. Ignore the decimals and multiply the numbers together. Find the total number of decimal places in the numbers you are multiplying, and then the answer must have the same number of decimal places. Here's the steps are used to calculate 0.07 times 0.008. The calculation is 7 times 8, which is 56. 0.07 has 2 decimal places, and 0.008 has 3 decimal places. So the answer must have 2 plus 3 equals 5 decimal places. The answer has 5 decimal places, therefore 0.07 times 0.008 equals 00056. Example 5.6.2. Write the answer to A. 0.02 times 0.04. 0.02 times 0.04 equals 0.0008. 0.05 times 0.8, 0. One of the numbers you want to multiply is a whole number. You must remember that a whole number has no decimal places. If the calculations are any more complicated than those given so far, you are advised to use a calculator. So, work out. So this is exercise 5.4. I'm getting a telephone call. I think it's the library. We have overdue books. Hello? Yeah, I have overdue books at the library. All right. Exercise 5.4. I will redo them after this. 1. A 4.7 times 6. So I'm supposed to 4.7 times 6, right? And then 6 times 7. Oh my God. I know I said I'm going to do it, but I haven't yet, but I'm definitely going to do it, which is memorize the times tables. So it's 42, and then 6 times 4 is 24, right? 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 is 28. 28.2. B. 17.8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 4 is 39. 5 times 1 is 5, plus is 80. 89. C. 18.37 times 8 is 8 times 7 is 8 times 7. It's 56. 8 times 3 is 24, right? 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 5 is 29. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 2 is a 66. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14. So it's 1,000. No, 2 decimal places. Okay, I need something to keep that open. So it's 146.96. And then D, 0.403 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1. And then it's 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. So it's 1.209. Question 2. Write down the answers to 8.21 times 10 equals, and you move it over 1, right? Yes. So it would be 82.1. It's A. B. 0.6 times 10 equals 6. C. 0.47 times 10 equals 4.7. CD. 0.702 times 10 equals 7.02. 7.02. E. 28.3 times 10 equals 28.3 times 10 is 283. F. 0.0041 times 10 equals, move over 1, 0.041. G. 5.218 times 100 equals, move it over 2. So it would be 521.8. H. 0.83 times 100 equals 83. I. 0.4 times 100 equals 1240. J. Oh my gosh, 0.00. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 7 times 100 equals 1, 2. 0.07. Okay. 46.36 times 100 equals 4,636. L. 3.9 times 1,000 equals, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 3,900. Number 3. A. Complete the following. 0.21 times what equals 21? 1, 2, so it's 100. B. 6.71 times what equals 67.1? 1, so it'd be 10. C. 7.98 times what equals 7,980? I'm guessing 1,000. Okay. 4. Write down the answers to 0.9 times 0.7. Would be 9 times 7 is 56, right? 9 times 7, 63. And then there's 1, 2 decimals. 1, 2 decimals. So, yeah. The 0.6 times 0.5 would be 0.30 or 0.3. Oops. C. 0.2 times 0.4 is 0.08 because there's 2 decimal places. D. 0.1 times 0.3 equals 0.03. E. 0.07 times 0.3 equals 0.0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No. EF. 0.03 times 0.02 is 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't know if that's right. 5. Work out 3.7 times 1.4. So that would be 7 times 4 is 28. 12, 14. 1 times 7, 7. 3 is 8, 11, 5. And there's 1, 2. So 1, 2, 5.18. Let's see if I can have one do it. That feels weird to me. Let's double check. Where am I? I'm on exercise 5.4. Exercise 5.4, number 5, 5.18. Okay, I'm doing it right. B. 0.28 times 0.41. So that's 8. That's 2. And that's 0. And another 0. 4 times 8 is 24? No, 32. 4 times 8 is 32. It's 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. So 4 times 0 is 0, but plus 1 is 1, which is 8, 4, 1, 1. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. C. 6.8 times 0.37. So I'm going to pretend that there's a 0 there. And then 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 8 is... 7 times 8 is what? 56. 7 times 6 is... 7 times 6 is what? 42. Plus 5, 47. 47. And then a 0, and then 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 6 is 18, 19, 20. So it is 0, 6, 11, 5. And what is that? 20? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, okay. So D. 0.084 times 0.47. Right, I'm supposed to line up the decimals. Now I feel like I did it wrong. Do I add the zeros? Let's see if I got C right. C, 2.516. Okay. Do I have to line up the decimals? Or does it matter? Okay, I'm going to do it the other way. 0.47 times 0.084. So I'm just going to flip it. So that's 0. 4 times is 28. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 0. 8 times 0. Okay, 8 times is 56. 8 times 4 is 32. right? 8 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 5 is 37. 8 times 0 is 0. Plus 3. So it's 0. Because then another 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so 8 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. And then that's 7, 8, 9, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, this is where it gets confusing. What is the answer? D, 5D, 0.03. What? Oh, here we go. 0.039 is 0. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, E. 9.3 times 37 is 21. 9 times 7 is 63. 65 and 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times is 27. That's 1, it's 14, it's 14 again, and that's 3, and then there's 1 decimal place. So it's 344.1. Finally, F. 0.049 times 23 is 27. 12, 14, 3 times 0 and 1, 0, 0, 2 times 9 is 18, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 2 times 0 is 0, so it's 7, 8 would be 12, and 11, and there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so 1.127, and then 6. 1 liter equals 101.76 pints. How many pints are there in 6 liters? So it would be 1.76 times 6, which is 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 40, no, 6 times 7 is 42, 45. 6 times 1 is 6, and then a 10. So, and then we need 1, 2, 1, 2. So 6 liters equals 10.56 pints. 7, 1 gallon equals 4.5 liters. How many liters are there in 8 gallons? So it's 4.5 times 8, which is 40. 8 times 4 is 32, right? 8 times 4, 32 plus 4, 80, 32 plus 4 is 36. And there's 1 decimal point. So it's, how many liters are there in 8 gallons? So 8 gallons equals 36 liters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. How many centimeters are there in 8.32 meters? There's 832 centimeters in 8.32 meters. Whew. This is making my brain work today. Are we going to do divisions of decimals today? No, I'm very tired. That's all I'm going to be able to do today. Thank you for joining me. I need to go renew some library books.